Huge announcement here, and that is that AEW are coming to London, England. But it's a little bit bigger than it sounds initially. Rumors for a long time that this would be the case, but my goodness, this is a huge announcement by Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.
All right, so hello and welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. My name is Scott, and we're here to break down the news that is AEW coming to London, England. Not that long away, just in about 5 months, I think it is. August the 27th. In 2023. It's going to be a huge show, as you might be able to tell from my accent and the fact that I've got an early morning cup of tea. I am from London, England, and it means I'm very much looking forward to this. But whether you're from here or not, this is a huge announcement for wrestling. Of course, this comes in a crazy week in wrestling. When isn't it a crazy week in wrestling, especially these days? But there was obviously a lot of kind of talk about Tony Khan hyping up this announcement, and it's becoming these days it's at risk of at least becoming a bit of a meme, and people kind of ignoring it. And to be honest, I think a lot of people were sleeping on this announcement. Now, of course, Dynamite itself was a huge show. We'll get into that maybe at another point. FTR news and Jay White, and wow, have they struck at an important time in professional wrestling, and this could be something huge going forward. But here we go. London, England is going to be getting AEW, and again, we were hearing rumors of this before. I actually thought that last night's announcement could have actually been about this, but my goodness, did I not expect it to be at the venue it's going to be held in. Of course, that is Wembley Stadium. We're looking at the graphic for it there. Now, Wembley Stadium, of course, is our national stadium here in the UK. Well, I should say in England, at least. The English football team play there. Here we go. And it's a huge stadium. It's pretty much 90,000 seater. That's, of course, configuration will change for different events and things like that. This is crazy. Of course, the UK are now being kind of blessed and honored with these incredible wrestling events. It's always been a hot market for WWE, even WCW and TNA in the early days used to have some great events over here as well. First time AEW coming here, and the location is significant for a few reasons. Number one, it's huge, as I just mentioned. Number two, other wrestling companies aren't there, and it's the venue that a lot of us wish the other wrestling company were going to be at this year for Money in the Bank. Now, Money in the Bank is looking incredible. Don't get me wrong. I cannot wait to be there. And I cannot believe that within the space of 2 months, we're going to get two huge PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever you want to call them, here in London. Now, of course, we've spoke a lot about Money in the Bank, and we've got videos about that on this channel. And again, we cannot wait for that. But to be fair, this video is all about All Elite Wrestling. You can't not help but compare the two here. And it's, of course, Clash at the Castle last year was incredible. I can't believe what we're getting as British fans all of a sudden. But here we go. London, Wembley Stadium. And it's significant not just for its size and not just for what else is going on in the wrestling scene, but also for its kind of it not being expected, really. Tony Khan, of course, is one of the top guys at Fulham Football Club as well. Therefore, Craven Cottage seemed like a great introduction for AEW to the UK. We've got to remember this is their first show in the UK as things stand. Of course, they might announce a little tour or something like that on the way to All In. I don't know. All In, I can't believe I'm even saying that. We'll get to that in a moment. But this is their first time here in the UK, and they're going to the top. Literally, you cannot get bigger than that here in England. London have some incredible venues. We've got the London Stadium, we've got the Emirates, we've got Tottenham's new stadium. Again, going a little bit smaller than that, we've got Craven Cottage and places like that. And I really thought if they went to Craven Cottage, I was like, that'd be incredible if they sold out Craven Cottage. No, they're going again to the top. I'm so shocked that this is the first thing they're doing here in London, in England. It's just unbelievable news. As I mentioned, though, All In. I mean, what about that, guys? They're bringing back All In. This is going to be the first time we've seen All In since pre AEW days. Tony Khan, of course, did the announcement with Nigel McGuinness. That in itself, incredible. Of course, we saw Nigel show up at Supercard of Honor. I thought, here we go. Nigel's involved in Ring of Honor. Not just that, guys. Nigel is back in a big way. He's involved in AEW. And then they bring in Adam Cole to announce the fact that it is at Wembley Stadium. So, again, huge news here. Let's get into some of the kind of stuff on the press release here. Of course, a lot of people are going to want to know what's going on as far as getting tickets and things like that. Well, it goes on sale on May the 5th. There'll be pre-registration opportunities as far as getting priority access and things like that. And oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Again, a month away, we're going to be able to open up tickets to arguably one of the biggest wrestling shows that has ever taken place here in London. Now, of course, the wrestling world will know Wembley Stadium. Even if you're not a football fan or you're not from the UK, you'll probably be familiar with Wembley Stadium because of that iconic show that was held here at SummerSlam 1992. Of course, a big moment for British wrestling fans, but wrestling fans all over. You know, it was a huge success. And then, of course, last year they kind of capitalized on that as far as going to Cardiff. And again, it was a big kind of thing of, it'd be nice if it was at Wembley, but it wasn't. But AEW coming to Wembley. And I've got to be honest, guys, it's not the same Wembley Stadium. You sort of are, Chris. It's I guess the spiritual home of the old Empire Stadium as it would have opened up as in 1923, and that's a great point as well. Wembley, even though it isn't the same building anymore, is technically celebrating 100 years, and that was a big part of their kind of announcement as well, saying we're going to be there celebrating those 100 years, and it's amazing that Wembley Stadium is getting to host an event like this. Great for AEW, great for wrestling fans, but I think great for the stadium as well. We got a comment here from Steve Price joining. We are buzzing. Can't wait. Me neither, Steve. As you can tell, I am absolutely thrilled with this announcement. Steve, are you from the UK? Are you like me with an early brew in the morning at the moment, talking about this news? Or are you coming from overseas? Because we're definitely going to get a lot of fans coming over. Of course, again, I don't mean to keep comparing to other companies, but you kind of have to, let's be honest, with the wrestling landscape. But we had a lot of fans from overseas joining us in Cardiff, which was absolutely amazing. Again, I met so many of my friends for life now from the wrestling press, of course, when we covered that show extensively. And we'll be definitely doing the same, not only for Money in the Bank now, but also for All In here in London, England. Comment says, yeah, we're in Essex. Oh, nice one, man. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for jumping on. Yeah, mate, maybe we'll bump into each other there at Wembley Stadium, because we're going to be doing a lot of content around the show now that we know it definitely exists. And we're going to be planning to go there and things like that. Of course, as I mentioned earlier on, when we covered the Clash in Cardiff, we had a great reception. I met a lot of you guys, and outside the stadium, we did some great content. We got to interview a lot of the WWE superstars, and it was fantastic. So hopefully it'll be the same this year, not just for Money in the Bank, but now also for All In. And like I said, I can't believe I'm even saying that. There's so much in this announcement. It's so heavy. It's so packed. But we've got All In, guys. All In is back. As I said, it's the first time it's going to be held under the AEW banner. Of course, All In was, an independent show, technically put on, the biggest of all time. Cody Rhodes even mentioned, name checked in the announcement, and fair play to Tony. But Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega spearheaded this, and it, of course, started this new wrestling boom. You can't deny, or at least helped ignite it. And unbelievable, really, that show in the first place. When they go into AEW, of course, it seems like Tony was one of his kind of private backers in the background, and move into AEW. They change it. They say All Out. Now we're going All Out. And a conversation me and a few of the other guys on the channel, particularly myself and Rob, have said over the years, what is AEW's WrestleMania? What's their big show? Like, their format's different to WWE's and other companies as well. They have about 4 big shows, 4 kind of pay-per-views a year. And sometimes I'm like, oh, it's All Out, and then I'm like, no, it's Double or Nothing. I don't feel like it's Revolution. And I can't even remember what the other one is now. Full Gear. I don't think it's those. Is it All Out or is it Double or Nothing? I always get confused. Is it All In, guys? All In is back. Like, is this their kind of? I don't. Come on. All right, let's say Starcade. All right, is this their Starcade? You know, like it's hard to tell, but man, when they're putting this much stock behind the brand, like why it could just be All Out. Do you know what I mean? It could be one of the other ones, but no, they're gonna or kind of a gimmicky name or something like that based on the UK. But no, they're straight up coming in with bringing back All In, and this is so significant. And of course, the All In tape library, as far as I'm aware, was part of Ring of Honor. Now that's under the same brand and the same banner of Tony Khan's Enterprises here as well. Steve says highly expected it to be Craven Cottage Fulham. Same here, Steve. I was just saying the same thing as well. I'm not sure if you joined us a little bit later into the stream, but surprised to see it at Wembley. Amazing if they sell it out. Man, Steve, if they sell it out, it's huge. I don't know how likely that is, if I'm honest. Let's see. Laura says 2 massive shows for London, going to be a great summer. Exactly that. We're starting to get a little bit of sun creeping in now. It doesn't look like it at the moment, does it? But getting a little bit of sun creeping in, and already I'm excited. But going back to Steve's comment about selling out, man, it's tough because you think they haven't even been to the UK yet, so it's hard for them to get a gauge. And I'll be honest with you guys, AEW a few months ago, I think, was in a better position, or even a year ago. It had so much hype and buzz around it. But this week, like I said, the things that happen on Dynamite and stuff like that, at a time when things are rocky elsewhere, it could be, the tide could be turning here again. And it's again, we're look at us as wrestling fans. What are we getting, especially us over here in the UK? But incredible. If they sell it out, it would be one of the greatest things. Like they talk about All In being huge, but it would be one of the greatest achievements, I think, in the history of pro wrestling. But even if they don't, even if they got half, it would be unbelievable to see that many people come to watch a wrestling show in London for a company that haven't even been to the UK yet. Again, I'm so surprised, like you said, Steve, that it's not at Craven Cottage. That would have been great. A decent sized venue, a beautiful stadium. Would have been nice to go visit that on the Thames, but no, we're going to Wembley instead. That walk along Wembley Way, I could just think about it now. Wrestling fans everywhere. We're going to be going live trying to cover that as well, and kind of taking some of the hype as well. Here we go, making executive decisions about the channel early in the morning. But yeah, let's get excited, guys. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Great time to be a wrestling fan here in the UK. Again, I'm looking forward to welcoming people over here to London. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing, a great occasion. Again, going back to that factor of selling out, it's going to be a busy one, I reckon. Even if it sold, like I said, half, it would be incredible. But if they sell out, it'd be crazy. But yeah, look, I say they're not in the same kind of position they were about a year ago. But you look at the roster, you look at the poster, the advertising graphics they pulled up, and you think, man, like, I want to see these people in London. And I'm not going to be the only one feeling that way. There's going to be a lot of people. So I'm spilling my tea here. There's going to be a lot of people who are excited to see some of these talents that basically they wouldn't have seen before. Some of these guys that have become big names within in AEW, and some of the guys that came over from elsewhere, of course, and kind of continued that path in their career. So they've got such a stacked roster that I know a lot of people are going to be excited to see. Talent they haven't been able to see for a while, talking about, 2020 and some of the things that have gone on there as well. And again, some of these talents that last time they were in London, they were at much smaller venues for different companies, I'm sure. So going to be a great opportunity for so many people, the wrestlers, AEW as a team, us as fans, us here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, you guys tuning in to us to get this extra content. By the way, whether you're joining us live or on demand, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Let us know what you're thinking about this huge announcement by AEW. And of course, please subscribe. You check out more of our great content here as well. But yeah, it's I'm just so excited. I think, like I say, coming over to London at a time where maybe the company have dipped a little bit lately. Feels like maybe not as big as it could have been, as I said, a year or two ago, more so a year ago. But then at the same time, that hunger is there. Fans want to see AEW. They haven't seen them at all. So if there's any time that that's still going to be the case, it's that first time, So, oh man, I'm just so excited. You might be able to tell, guys, I'm a little bit excited about this one. Wembley Stadium. I can't believe it. Wembley Stadium. All In is back. AEW's first time over here in the UK. Huge venue, celebrating 100 years since 1923, of course, when the original Wembley Stadium, then known as the Empire Stadium, opens up. And what a better way for wrestling fans, at least, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of our national stadium here in London. Of course, home of the England football team, as I mentioned earlier on, and home of some fantastic events over the years. I've seen some great concerts at Wembley, some great football games at Wembley. And of course, then you go back to the original Wembley. My goodness, the list is endless. Live Aid, Freddie Mercury tribute, as we mentioned earlier on. So it's a venue with prestige, even if they've knocked down those two beautiful towers that stood outside and replaced it with a completely new stadium. It's it's still the spiritual home, guys. All right, hold on to that one at least. But either way, a conversation about Wembley being rebuilt is a conversation for another day. Super excited to see MJF diss Londoners. Oh, good point. Yeah, like we're weird as wrestling fans, aren't we? We get excited when the heel comes along and starts talking crap about us. But yeah, me too. There's so much I'm looking forward to seeing. Who's going to be the champion at that time? You know, will it be MJF still? It's up in the air, I guess. But it's a great one, guys. Either way, looking forward to it. Thanks so much for joining us on this stream. Let us know in the comments what you're most looking forward to. What do you want to see from this year? I know, should we have like a special kind of set? Like, there's so much to unpack here, you know, and I'm sure we'll be back with some of the other guys on the channel in the coming weeks and months on the kind of road, I guess, to All In. It's I still can't believe what I'm saying. All In. Like, if you told me when I woke up I'm going to be hearing about AEW coming to the UK, I'd be like, wow, that's great. It's big news. But then you add on top of that, oh, it's at Wembley Stadium. Oh, and they're bringing back All In. Again, let's just enjoy it, guys. What a time to be a wrestling fan. And once again, thank you so much for joining us. Stick around with us on this channel. We'll keep you company throughout these huge shows coming up here in the summer. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.